Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. start the session. It's 5. Can we start the session, team?
Yes, sure, ma'am. You can.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this session on guidelines for designing assessments. As you heard, before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Usha Rani, ABP Academics from Next Education. And this session is for you. So feel free to share your thoughts and reflections at the end. So, am I audible?
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am, you are
ma'am.
audible.
Yes. Okay. So now is that clear? Hello?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
ma'am.
ma'am, it is clear.
Yes, yes. Okay. So this session is for you. So feel free to share your thoughts and reflections at the end. For now, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Let me begin this webinar with a short story. Okay. So Rohan studied in a CBSE school in Delhi, while Priya studied in a state board school in Bangalore. Both worked hard and scored 85% in the class 10th. Okay, on paper the marks looked the same, but the question papers and assessment styles were very different. One focused on application and the other focused on subjective descriptive answers. So can we really say their 85% reflect the same level of learning? Can we say that?
No, ma'am.
Right, this is exactly where PARAKH comes into picture. Okay, so here I'll tell you the catch. India has more than 60 school boards. Each board sets its own paper and marking style. This creates a confusion and a chaos when comparing the students across the different boards, either for college admissions or scholarships or even the jobs. So Parakh's role is to set common standard, bring equivalence across the boards, and ensure that every student marks reflect their comparable level of competency. Right? So here is where, yes, Arthi, hello. My voice is very low. Okay, give me a minute. Am I audible now? Yes,
Yeah, ma'am, you are
Yes,
clearly
ma'am. ma'am, it is
audible.
clear.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
right,
ma'am, you are
fine.
audible.
Yes. Now coming to this, before even starting about assessment, can anyone say what is an assessment? Every frequently we'll be using in our terminology. One is assessment, the other one is test. Now, how are they different? Are they one and the same? Are they synonyms? Can anyone just say yes? What is an assessment and what is a test?
May I?
Yes, yes. Hello.
May I?
Yes, yes. Continue. Go ahead.
Assessment is the regular to check the regular progress of the student. We are taking the assessment. Test is after one uh, y- after completing of 2-3 chapter.
That is what you are saying regarding formative and summative, which are paradigms of assessment. But coming to an assessment and a test, can anyone else try?
Ma'am,
Yes,
I wish to say something. Can I
Yes.
say test
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
tool to do assessment?
Yes, very good. Yeah, you're right. What is an assessment?
Assessment is gauging the child on so many parameters, assessing the child. Could be
Yes,
academic, could be curricular, could be co-curricular. There's so many facts, so many things
right.
to be assessed.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you are very true. I'll tell you, assessment is nothing but a big process, I can say, which in that the test is included. It is a tool inside the assessment. Where in assessment, as you said, there are multiple parameters that are being evaluated. It is like the way we say critical thinking, all the competencies, all the skills, okay, and all the values have been assessed. Okay, right. Now coming to this, can anyone say about the different paradigms of assessment? We are repeatedly saying, or we are repeatedly using multiple assessments in our curriculum, in our schooling, or in your classrooms,
Ma'am, formative and
right?
summative.
Yes. Can you tell me the difference between both? Yes, very true. Okay. Yes. Someone is saying
You know, formative is to understand how much the child has learned. Just
yes.
how much the child learned. Just
And
to understand this, we do the form.
what about summative? What about summative? Okay.
Summative, I guess,
Summative
means
may be
that
the
at the
pen and
end,
paper
how
test
much a child
of
has learned. Yeah.
Right, right. Very, very true. So formative is where the assessment is happening during the process of learning. And at the end of that learning, that can be a chapter. So that is what we call summative. So when the learning is happening, or when the assessment is happening during the process of learning, that is what we call formative. And the assessment that is happening at the end of the chapter, or at the end of the concepts, is what we call summative. Okay, now coming to the paradigms of assessment, actually we say 3, now it has been 4, and now it has been even 5. The paradigms of assessment includes assessment for learning, of learning, assessment as learning, competency based, or what we call holistic assessment, and diagnostic assessment. These are the different varied paradigms of assessment. Now coming to what is assessment for learning, is what you said in the first go, that is formative, where the assessment is happening during the process of learning, where the teacher gives some instructions, gives feedback, and guides the teaching. Now coming to the second one, that is assessment of learning, where we call it as summative assessment, where the teacher judges the achievement of the learner using exams, board tests, and term exams, half yearly, quarterly, etc. And coming to the third one, that is assessment as learning. So here it is learner driven, where we can say it is a self-assessment or peer assessment. Like as you said, any homework is given to the student, or any surprise test is given to the student. Instead of you evaluating that, you can just ask the student to exchange their notes, and that is where the student can correct, so that they will have that self-recognition. Okay, this is where I'm going wrong. When the peers say to them, that will have a huge impact when compared to the teacher's evaluation. And even it will build that reflection and ownership for the students. Now coming to the fourth one, is competency based or holistic assessment, which will mainly focus on knowledge, skills, application, real world task, which is where we call a 360 growth. And the last one is the diagnostic assessment. Anyone knows about this? Right. So this diagnostic assessment is what we do it even before starting the learning process. Okay, even before starting a chapter, we want to understand where the students stand.
In
Okay,
this, we check the previous knowledge of the student.
very true. That is right. So here it is where we are checking the prior knowledge or prerequisite knowledge of the student by giving the maybe the previous chapter related concept if it is there, if not from the previous grade. So this is where before the teaching starts, we identify the learning gaps and the go ahead with the content. So this is about the basic knowledge that we need to have even before starting into our session. Right. Now, the first slide is this. This is about the preface of what we are going to move through the session and navigate through the session regarding the evolution of assessment, and then how the role of assessments are changing in the schools, and then competencies and Bloom's taxonomy. This already we have discussed last time with respect to the Bloom's taxonomy, how to frame a learning objective, and to that particular learning objective, how the questions or assessment should be aligned with. Yeah. Yeah, Kalpana, Ankur, yeah, I hope you have some concern. Please let me know what is it. Or can I proceed? Right. Fine. So these are all the navigations, like I mean to say, steps that we have it. So let me proceed. Yeah. Coming to how have assessments in Indian schools evolved over time. Now coming to this is where you can see across the decades from 1900s to 2000 to 2010 to 2020, the I mean to say the question type, how it has been changed. And these are some of the sample questions that has been taken across the board papers. From 10th grade, we have taken some of the samples to make you understand how the pattern of questions have been changed across the decades. Now, for example, you can see here, can I reduce this? ఇది కొంచెం reduce చేయాలి. So this can come to the full screen. Give me a minute. Radha. అది చిన్నగా ఉంది. Right. Still full Radha. ఇంకెంతేనా? Okay. Right. Fine. So now coming to this 1980s to 1990s is where you can see more of rote memorization, which means whatever is there in the textbook, we are just right away giving those questions like what is photosynthesis, or define photosynthesis, or what is osmosis. So that pattern of questions is what we used to see in 1980s to 90s. And this is one example which is taken from the board paper of 10th. And from, I mean to say, from that particular year, write the equation for photosynthesis. Now, when it comes to 2000 is where you can see conceptual understanding questions have been come. That is where it is addressing the Bloom's taxonomy level of understanding. And here you can see the questions like name the raw materials required for photosynthesis and where in the cell does this process happen. And 2010, like I can take a what happened? Oh, something got changed. Okay. No, it's becoming smaller. Right. Right. Now coming to the 2010 is where, CCE is launched. So anyone can tell what is CCE?
Comprehensive and evaluation.
Continuous comprehensive
Comprehensive
evaluation.
and evaluation. Yes.
Yes. So this was being launched in 2010, which has been implemented till 2016 and 17, and later it has been withdrawn. So which includes mainly the case study questions and value-based questions here, and which includes under the Bloom's taxonomy, apply an analysis. And this is one sort of questions from the board paper. Explain why light is necessary for photosynthesis with the help of an activity. That is where the application part is coming into here. And now coming to the 2020s is where we are saying competency-based questions, which includes case study and real life context questions and even projects. And it is mandated that 30% should be competency based items, and everyone knows what is competency. That is what we are speaking regarding the skills with respect to critical thinking.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes. Hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, very good evening. Yes, if you have any queries, you can post it in the chat, which I'll be able to see and then address it at the end of the session. Now, in 2020 is where it is mandated that 30%, yes, 30% of the question should be from the competency. That is where mandated 30% competency based items, nothing but your questions. And coming to this is a pattern of question which has been taken from the board exam. A student keeps one potted plant in sunlight and another in a dark room for 3 days. He then tests leaves for starch. Predict the results for both plants, explain the role of sunlight. The same questions can be even given in an MCQ, but mostly I have taken the subjective questions to understand how the progression has happened across the decades with respect to the remembering and rote memorization questions to the competency level questions. Right? I hope it is clear. Let us move on to the next slide. This is one example which is taken from the, I can say, science. And this is one more example which I have taken from the math. So here in 1990s, you can see direct recall based questions, which includes remembering the Bloom's taxonomy level. And this is where the question being asked, state Heron's formula for the area of a triangle. Now coming to the 2000 is where formula based computation, where the understanding and applying level has come into picture. Find the area of a triangle whose sides are so and so. This is problem solving, which is straightforward given in the textbook even. And now coming to 2010 is where you can see the word problem, where CC has come into picture. And this is where a scenario is being given, a word problem we can call it as. Now coming to 2020 is where the triangular side. So this is where you can see a real life contextual application has been seen, which is very much very close to either analyze or evaluate. Okay, right. Now let us move on to the next one. How has the role and practice of assessment changed in the schools? Now here, earlier, this is how the, I mean to say, the pattern of questions or the practice of assessment used to exist, and now it has been changed through this. Now see, the first one, tool for ranking and grading. So we used to use assessment only for ranking, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or grading as A, B, C, D. Okay, right now it is tool for identifying the learning gaps and giving the continuous feedback to the student so that they can overcome. That is what we call personalized attention or adaptive learning, or giving, yeah, so giving information end to end. Now second one is only pen paper exams. So apart from this, right now, yes, Triparthi, Raksha, do you have any queries? Okay, so now coming to the pen and paper exams, right now we have multiple formats. So earlier we used to have only like written exam using the pen and paper, but now we have multiple formats like projects, portfolios, oral exams, and digital tools. So everyone knows what is a project. It's something doable, where it can be an individual project or it can be a group project, which I'll be showing it in the coming slides, upcoming slides. And it's something like, it can be, for example, take a sound chapter. In our grade 8th, we have given, with respect to the sound chapter, after the end of that chapter, we ask the student to do it. Whether it can be, it's up to the teacher whether she want to give it as an individual or you want to give as a group activity. So they need to go to their auditorium, okay, or maybe their assembly hall, where they have the soundproofing devices. Either it can be on the floor, it can be on the walls, or it can be on the ceiling of the auditorium. And they need to identify what all the different types of soundproofing devices have they used it, what different materials they have used it. And then using the decibel meter, they need to even identify how much of sound is it being capturing it, so that it is avoiding or it is preventing the sound pollution. So these all is where I can say actually the practical experience is what they're getting. This is what actually the industrial application is also coming into picture. Right now what's happening is student is learning what is there in the textbook now, but when it comes to the field, when he's straight away going into any of the interviews, whatever he learning, is it being implemented? Is he able to do that, or is he able to drive the show by making any decision making abilities or problem solving abilities? Is he able to get those? That gap is there. So we need to bridge the gap present between the concepts as well as the industrial experience by giving more of project oriented, or it can be something like an hands-on activities where experiential learning is coming into picture. Now coming to the next one, so this is where I said projects plays a very important role, but might be 3 to 5, we should ignore them because they cannot go into field, or they cannot do that survey on the internet, because in case they don't have an auditorium, you don't need to feel bad. We have other option, that is where they can use the internet or the digital media to capture the information, and they can even submit the project. So that is what we have seen in our science books. Last time also I showcased you regarding this. Now coming to portfolios. Now anyone can say what are portfolios? Portfolios, anecdotes. Yes. Okay.
Can I say
So
something,
now,
ma'am?
yes, sure.
Ma'am, in portfolio, we can just record all the data of student, how he has just progressed, and we can just show to parents in PTM also.
Very good. True. Yeah, she is very right. Like portfolios are nothing but worksheets or something like a physical data that you are capturing. It can be in the form of a file. It can be in the form of a PPT presentation. It can be in the form of a scrapbook or a drawing book or anything that they have submitted. Okay, and oral exams, everyone knows. Instead of giving some recitations or elocution or anything that can be orally done, debate or discussions, everything comes under that. And digital tools you already know which we are using it. So it can be like an web, I mean to say PPT presentation, or it can be OHD projector presentation, etc., or a PDF also will work. Now coming to the third one, same approach for all the student. That is one size fits all. So irrespective of whatever student is he, like you know about the learning styles, different learning styles that is catering to the different learners. So here in the earlier stage, in the ancient is where we are using same approach for all the students. One size fits the all. And when it comes to here is where right now we are using personalized and holistic learning. Personalized in the sense as per the needs of the learner. So because you know most of the learners are visual learners or kinesthetic learners rather than audio learners. So that is the reason the discussion of the lecture method has been overridden with the digital technology, where we are showing more of 2D or 3D animated AV modules or activities, or actually performing them in the classroom. And you know about holistic development. So this also we'll discuss in the next slide. What is it about? And mostly focuses on the 21st century competencies. Now coming to the next one, focused mainly on marks. So here the focus is only on the marks, like 80 marks or 90 marks or 100 out of 100. So focuses on learning, understanding and application rather than on the marks, because you know tomorrow if the students are landing into any of the companies, employers will value the skills but not the degree or the certificates or the percentage that they are handling, right? So here the focus is mainly on the application and the understanding of the concept. So tomorrow any problem is arising in the company, he would be able to solve it and he would be a good decision maker. Now coming to the next one, little support for improvement. Now here supports personalized teaching and learning improvement, because we are catering to the different needs of the learner by giving all the different varieties of resource materials or instructional strategies. Now, narrow academic focus, but here we are focusing on the holistic development, where we are not only focusing on the knowledge, that is what the conceptual understanding we are giving through discussion or lecture or through digital media, and we are even making them to master the skills, values, and attitudes. So this is where your Bloom's taxonomy also will come into picture. That is where the cognitive domain is knowledge, and skills is where your psychomotor skills will come, domain will come, and values and attitudes is where your affective domain will come into picture. So this way, earlier the focus is only on the cognitive domain. It's not even catering to psychomotor or with the affective domain. So but here that is where I'm saying holistic development. So I think you have got that. But still now people can say, why do we need this holistic development and competencies in their assessments, in whatever assessments we are trying to integrate into our curriculum? So why there is a need for, one is holistic development, the second one is the competencies. Anyone? I already told this answer in the flow, but still would have captured it.
Holistic development in the sense, if the child has gathered all type of knowledge, whether he can face any type of questions, so that maybe regarding practical or maybe regarding his understanding of the skills. And I think next is that you have said about
Competencies.
competency.
Right.
Competencies for the judging the skills, whether that knowledge is able to apply for solving such practical questions which has been given to solve.
Right, very true. I agree with you, sir.
Thank you.
So first thing is, yeah, why do we need to even give a holistic development to the student? The first thing, as I said here, we need to bridge the gap between the content that we are teaching from the textbooks to the practical knowledge. Okay, so that is more important. The reason, as I said already in the earlier slide, regarding this, employers values not the certificates, not the degree, or the grading or the ranking that you have got. He only caters or values your skills. The reason behind is, as I said here, because the world is changing, so the student need to adapt to the rapid change. So here industries are evolving with respect to automation, with respect to AI. So the student should have this adaptable as well as practical skills to survive in the 21st century. And one more thing, exposure to these practical skills also makes them like to survive. Like, I mean to say, they can build the decision making skills, they can build the problem solving skills, and so that the whatever technical skills they need required with respect to machinery or software, or the soft skills like communication, collaboration, and teamwork, and even critical thinking with respect to maybe an unexpected problem has come into their whatever system. So how do they sort it? Until unless they have the practical knowledge, they will not be able to sort such unexpected problems. So this is what we call call the problem solving skills. So these are all important, and that is where the competencies come into picture. Competencies with respect to, as I said here, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical thinking, and we have some more like exploration, observation. Then I'll be showing it in the next coming slides. So these are some of the, I can say, the competencies, and these competencies will make the student an holistic personality. So that is the reason for having competencies, which is mainly guiding towards the holistic development of a student. And this is where actually needed for a student to survive in the 21st century. Okay, I hope it is clear. Let us move on to the next slide. Next, how are competencies and Bloom's taxonomy linked to assessment design? So here, when you see, these are the curricular goals that we have. Like if you see the preparatory stage, like you have foundation, like 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Right now we are speaking more about the preparatory stage and even the middle stage. And these are the curricular goals or the competencies that you can see: observing, identifying, and describing, which is very much related to the remembering and understanding levels of the Bloom's taxonomy. And this is a sample question which you can make out if you want to give an assessment question which is very much aligned to this competency and this level of Bloom's taxonomy. So list is mostly remembering. Now coming to explaining or classifying or predicting, this is where your application or analysis will come into picture. Why do shadows change? So this is where the reasoning is coming. Why do shadows change the length during the day? Now coming to the third one is reasoning, evaluating, and justifying. So that is where evaluate is coming into picture. And why should waste be thrown only in the dustbins? So that is something where evaluation is like justification, or it's like about reasoning. And coming to the last one is create, where designing, innovating, and creating something, a new model you are creating. So by hypothesizing it, then doing some experimentation, then drawing the observations, and finally you give a conclusion saying that yes, this project or this hypothesis is working out well. Right. And here one example is make a poster on saving water for your school. This is for the lower grade. But when it comes to the higher grades, maybe I can say 6 to 10, mostly it will be in the form of designing or creating some model, a new, I can say. Yes, so this is about the Bloom's taxonomy align. And here you can see the competencies and the curricular goals in detail. You will be seeing it in the upcoming slides. Now, here these are the like, it's not me saying that, even CBSE is also giving the same information. Let me open that. Yeah. So how are competencies and Bloom's taxonomy linked to assessment design? Okay, so let me open this link. Right. So here you can see a picture. Okay, and there are some sort of questions which are asked upon that. Can you relate this sort of questions? Where have you seen? Have you seen such sort of questions in any of the international assessments or any of the competitive exams? Because I have seen such sort of questions in one of the international assessments. Can anyone name?
PISA.
Yes, very true. So I hope my screen is visible, right? Yes, screen.
I'm unable to see the screen.
You're not able to?
Yes,
What is
ma'am.
it?
I'm not
It's
able to.
it's visible.
It's visible, right? Yeah, right. Fine then. So here, yeah, you're true. You're right. This is a PISA that is programmed for international student assessment. This sort of questions, none of the questions will be very direct, like what is osmosis or list the factors of photosynthesis. You don't see such sort of questions at all. You would be seeing something like scenario or real life situation based questions. This is one such example. So it's not my question which has been created. I'm just opening this link. Just have a look. This is taken from the cbseacademics.nic.in. And coming to this, let me go to the page number. So you can see the different questions that have been asked here. All these questions is very much similar to what you can see is in PISA or even TIMS. That is trends in international maths and scientific study. This is the one. I just taken this question from here, where there is a picture showing how acid rain occurs and what its effects are. Now, which of these contributes to acid rain? Yes, circle yes or no to mark your response. And which of the following is correct about the effects of acid rain? Select the correct row. Anu revisited a historical monument after 10 years. She noticed that the white monument had turned yellowish. Which event is most likely to have caused the change in color of the monument? So this sort of questions is what you actually see in international assessment. Like one is PISA, the second one is TIMS. And this sort of questions have been added into the CBSE curriculum even. So I'll show you where actually it exists, because I have taken only one sample, but let me educate you. So here you have something called competency-based resources, competency-based education resources. Just click on this. So once you go down, there is something called assessment. Just click on it. And here you have the curriculum aligned competency-based test questions, where all the questions which are aligned to the different competencies, which are given grade specific, are mentioned here, and the questions which are taken is from here. So just refer these two is where you can check this sort of questions, right? So this is one such example. And now, and one more thing here you can see is there is something called, cannot copy this. So is it regarding the acid rain? Let me check it. Yeah. So here there is some question number given, right? There's an idea I can say. When you just click on this, you can see here the information given. What is the item number? That is nothing but the question number. What is the question code here? And grade and chapter of that particular question. And the concept of the sub-concept covered here. What is the competency? Explaining the phenomena scientifically. This is what we are discussing. Item type is constructive response. And here also you can see item type is multiple choice question, or item type here you can say is that evaluating, sorry, complex multiple choice question. So that is what the question type is. Then full credit. So what marks you are supposed to give? Partial marking or full marking, provided he has answered them correctly. And no credit or no score, any other response or missing response, don't give the score. So this way the feedback is even given in the same document. Like if I just go through this, you can see the question number, and just I'm giving this control F, and here I could see. So all the questions have the marking and how to mark it, what is the credit, or the credit should be given or not should be given. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now coming on to the next slide is where that pictures I have taken with respect to the item number and the competency being covered and the score. Now coming to the next one, how can assessments be integrated across the different subjects? Now when it comes to science, everyone knows it's more of experimentation and investigation based questions, or it can be scenario based case study questions. Yes. Yeah. Mega, yes. Yeah, tell me. Hello. Yeah. Give me a second, guys. Right. Now, coming to this, where you have seen regarding the science, some of the examples which are shown, where you have the experimental based questions, investigation based questions, or it can be value based questions, it can be case study scenario questions. These are all the different patterns that we can use, assertion and reasoning, etc., which I'll be showing it all the different pattern of questions with one example and description of what is it, like how it is. Like, for example, when it comes to case study, we have a textual one, you have a comparison one, you have a bar graph one, and you have a pictorial even. So coming to math, it's like real life problem solving, application based word problems. Now coming to social science, it is more of source and value based. Source in the sense taking straight away from taking straight away from the textbook. So there might be a paragraph upon on Quit India movement, so the straight away the same paragraph will be taken. I have some examples to show to you in the later slides, and then you will be giving some sort of questions on that. That is what we call source based questions. Value based is where some values like life skills, or values like empathy, humanity, or compassion, or responsibility, these based questions also you can see them. And map or data interpretation, where you have a bar graph or you have an India map. From there you will be asking, extrapolating and asking the questions upon to identify the capitals, etc. So coming to the languages, where you have portfolios, which we have already discussed, debate and discussions, writing task, like essay writing, or it can be writing upon any topic, and speaking activities. Okay, so this is about how the assessments can be integrated across, because you don't follow the same phenomena across all the subjects. Now coming to the next one, what strategies and tools make competency based assessment more effective? Here, when it comes to the strategies, as I said, already discussed in the previous slide regarding the case study, projects and simulations. Yes. Yeah. So has a real world application of concepts, right? So in this, mostly we make the student to connect, as I said here, bridging the gap between what is it being taught in the textbook to what is it actually happening in the industry. That is where the practice or the practicals. So bridging the gap between the textbook content to the practicals using these case studies and projects and simulations. And that is where the impact is the real world application of the concept. So we are making the student industry ready, okay, or making it him to enter into the 21st century. Now coming to the next one is balanced blueprints, where you have 30% of lots, that is lower order thinking skills, includes knowledge and understanding, 40% of application, and 30% of higher order, that is analysis, evaluate, and create. So covers the recall plus application plus higher order thinking skills. Then peer and self-assessment, which will build the reflection and collaboration between, that is where the teamwork will come in, and reflection, that is where he will be observing where has he gone wrong. Now coming to the digital tools, that is includes quizzes, simulations, and e-portfolios. So engage the learners, provide the quick feedback rather than the teacher evaluation, where it might be around an days or an week's time, which actually consumes. Now progressing testing modules, that is includes the Bloom's micro concepts and difficulty. There is actually a square where you have the progressive testing model, which includes the Bloom's taxonomy and x-axis, and the micro concepts on the y-axis, and the difficulty level on the z-axis. This is what a three-dimensional progressive testing models have been designed, where it will mainly track the learning growth systematically. So that is about how did NEP 2020 reforms reshape the board exams. Now, here one is, as we said, project work and portfolios, continuous effort and creativity, case-based questions, that is real life scenarios, problem solving, competency-based MCQs, where is conceptual clarity is greater than when compared to the memory, cross-disciplinary task, where we are linking the science with math, English, social, etc. All right. So this is how NEP 2020 has reformed the education and even the assessment, where we have included, so the emphasis has come. Now when I say in 2015, the question paper, that whatever we have designed, I mean to say blueprint, it has 20% of application and 80% of remembering and understanding. But in 2020, I can say that the question paper has turned into like I mean to say reducing 80% to 60%. 60 and 40 is what we have seen. 60% of knowledge and understanding, and rest 40% of application analysis and evaluate and create. Okay, but now when you see this, you can see 50-50, not even 50. It was even going to 60 and 40, which was the case in 2015, where you have 60 remembering and understanding has moved to 60 application and analysis, and rest 40 is remembering and understanding. And I'm sure in the upcoming days it will be 80% of higher order thinking skills and 20% of the lower order skills. So this is about coming to the next one. So here we have been speaking about project work, we are speaking about portfolios, we are speaking about all this. So I just want to show some samples here. So this is what a different anecdote and portfolio that has been shared. So where the teacher, so what is an anecdote? So this is, you know, about portfolio. As I said here, it is a collection of materials, a reflection or the observations of the student, and that is what you are collating it, and then you might be using in your HPCs as a part of parent connect program, or the I mean to say an assessment, where you are giving it as a part of the teacher assessment, or it can be as a part of the self assessment, where, or sorry, peer assessment. Now coming to this, so here when you see, last time I had discussed about the HPC, that is holistic progress card, where I'm discussing about the different types of activities, and some of the teachers from GD Goenka Delhi branch, they were asking, ma'am, can you give some samples? And this is the new book that we are launching, Prime series. Next Prime is where we are giving this sort of HPC related activities at the end of term, because HPC, you don't do it every chapter, you do at the end of the term. It can be term 1, term 2, term 3, or it can be at the end of all the 12 chapters. So that is the reason at an term level is what we have given, what is the introduction of that, and what time should be allotted for each and every whatever step you are taking, and then what is the role of the teacher, and then how to divide the students into groups. For example, if you see here, let me first start with this. The teacher introduced the key ideas, because this is something, a topic on water, personal hygiene, because it's covering the topics of NCERT chapters. That is, one is water, the other one is personal hygiene, community hygiene practices, through all this poster making and even peer sharing. So here we are asking the teacher to divide the class into 4 groups: water detectives, water savers, hygiene champs, and eco guardians. So each would be taking the role. Maybe if you have 4 groups like blue, red, green, and yellow, you can divide this into 4 teams, where each one will be given, each team will be given one role, and then after that, so they would be giving that how water reaches our home. So they would be giving that topic, and then each group begins creating a poster. After 3 to 5 minutes, rotate the poster among the groups. Now whatever the poster they have created, it will go to the second group, third group, and this thing. So they will be adding some more information. That is how the complete poster which is made. Like when I say 4 groups, 4 poster, but entire team will be working, entire group or entire students will be working from that particular group. So they'll be adding new drawings or ideas or facts on the poster. So continuously will be rotating, and each group is worked on all the 4 posters, rather than one confining it to one poster. Now each group leader pairs up with the team leader from another group to review all the posters. They discuss what they liked about each poster and suggest the areas for improvement. As a class, create a chart listing the top 5 practices for water conservation and display it in the notice board. So this is how we have given one sample for the teacher, so that if required, she can add more. And coming to this, as I said, this information, whatever you have captured it, with respect to the posters, is what you call as a portfolio. Now coming to what is anecdote, is where we have given some information for them, something like a role play to do it in the classroom, and again collaborative poster storytelling even, so that the teacher will be writing a small descriptive story about each student, like with respect to this entire setup, where is he standing, how well is he collaborating and communicating with the peers, and how is he teamwork, and then where is he lagging, where is he. So small information is what from this topic of such informal assessment is what she is going to gather. So this is what NEP 2020 has reformed the I mean to say the exam pattern or assessment pattern that we are following it. Here one more example of informal assessment which is given here is where instead of giving very subjective questions like go to an like a museum or go to a garden or a park, and then this thing that becomes routine for the students. So try to give something innovative similar like this. Now stepping into a botanical garden, so we are just asking you may have visited a garden and come across all these types of this thing, then just explain them. So read each question and circle this. So did the plants have deep roots that held them firmly in the ground? So here he has completed the topics of getting to know plants, and prior there is something on organ systems, and even about the caring and good habits. So that is where the entire formative assessment 2, which is actually covering the 2 chapters, is being discussed. So this is where the student will not feel monotony, and he would obviously be interested in doing that, and that is where you can exchange it, and the peer assessment also will happen. Now coming to this art integrated project, this is where we are emphasizing upon the project. This is one such example which is given in the third grade book, and even SDGs are being covered. As we said in the last session also regarding sustainable development goals, we are covered from 1 to 17th, but when you see the implementation part, we haven't even reached the 30% of these SDGs by now, because 30 is what we are supposed to achieve around 100%. But until unless it is not inculcated or incorporated into the curriculum, so it's not possible, because the ownership, but the ownership comes from the, yeah, but the ownership need to come from the every student. That is where we have inculcated or incorporated these SDGs into the curriculum. Okay, so this is where you can see SDG 3, 6, 9, and 12. So 3 is something regarding good health and uh, uh, yeah, good health, and 6 is about clean water and sanitation. 9 is about resource production and implementation, and 12 is something regarding the climate control. So if I'm wrong, I would have gone here and there, but this is actually the context about the SDGs, which we have tried to inculcate in the art integrated project, where stage 1 what they're supposed to do, and stage 2. So we are asking them, everything is like intertwined. It is something like where we have connected what they're learning to what they're supposed to do as a practical approach. Now coming to the next one is portfolio. So here you can see an winter holiday homework we have given, and a festival holiday homework also we have given, where they're doing something like maybe with an origami model, or it can be something, because here in the competencies and the curricular goals you can see this type of I mean to say assessments being given. So that is where we are just given one sample and image also, and here there is something called a DIY being given. Okay, so this is what we call it as a portfolio. Now coming to the next one is where we have given even a practice time, something doable. These are all for the lower grades, because we are speaking right now upon the preparatory stage, where they're using different materials, because this is on this is a hands-on activity taken from the materials chapter of grade 3, where we have asked them to just stick on the natural materials and here the artificial materials, and this way they will have a huge impact. And this is something like life skills. So here life skills is not just about sticking to the textbook. We want something to be done in the classroom. Maybe it can be Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, so to find out some slogans, stick in their class notice board, in the school notice board, and even do something like in their classes by going and cleaning what the school campus, etc. And this is one more where we are asking them to do something like an do that first aid kit in the classroom, by just finding it out how to apply an antiseptic or a lotion or like a band-aid, or keep a sling on a fractured arm, so that at times of crisis is where these people can become the volunteers. And here even we are asking them to take a mock drill, a mock disaster drill, because this has been given actually we have seen it in the past 6 months, that how it has been very effective in the northern states, so that we are making the students prepared for the emergencies. Now coming to the next one is PARAKH. Now this is what the topic is about. Now what is PARAKH? Anyone? Yes. Okay, let me answer it. So it's performance assessment, okay, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. So this is what PERC stands for: performance assessment, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. So this is an autonomous institution set by the NCRT under the National Education Policy 2020. So this is what we call as an NAC, that is National Assessment Center. So what is the need for this? So here we already discussed last time regarding the SAFL, structured assessment for analyzing learning. Now how is this different from the SAFL? Anyone? Yes. Yes, teachers, educators, anyone can respond.
Ma'am, please kindly repeat the question.
So, see, we are discussing right now regarding the Parakh. Last time in the last session, we have discussed regarding the Safal. Now, can you tell me what is the difference between them? Are they both synonym names, or is there any different vision or purpose for both of them?
Last time I didn't attend the meeting, so as we can just think that, then suffer means also our motive is to anyhow we can just get success when the student are understanding and they are not giving the role in routing, because rote learning is not allowed in CBSE. If we are just giving real life examples, so they can understand in future and they can think what is right and what is wrong for us. So I think Parakh is the most important as well as for the teachers and for the students both.
So, if you have heard about the story which I have given in the beginning, you will get the answer for the Parakh. Can give the answer of every board? No, that is not the context here. I have given one example: a student who is studying in CBSE in a Delhi, the other one who is studying in Bangalore in a state board school. When you compare both the students, they have secured 85%. But now, when this whatever 85%, I have asked you one question: like, are they learning is the same? Can you standardize, or can you say that both of them are standing on the same pace?
Ma'am, Safal is basically for third, fifth, and eighth class standard, that is CBSE, and Parak is for all the boards examination for all the classes.
Very true. Yeah, you are right, Hitesh. So here, one difference he has given is regarding the assessment. Like, Parak has been conducted at the end of grade 3, that is what you call foundational, at the end of preparatory, and at the end of the middle stage. That is third, fifth, and eighth. Okay, and when it comes to Safal is being given at the again third grade and fifth grade and eighth grade also, and right now it was even incorporating at the sixth and ninth. Okay,
Like
that
ma'am, Safal helps to track the learning level of the student also.
yes, it will identify the learning gaps even. Do agree? Yes, that is the second point. Any other? So now Parak is for only CBSE schools or all these schools like
All
state
the
board?
national level schools.
Yes,
All the
all
national level board.
It
all the
helps to
60
guide
state.
and review the
Right.
students' assessment and
Yes,
everything.
true.
Question is, when anyone student not clear the exam for SAFL exam, then what will happen?
Okay, so here the this is Safal is only for refining the teaching pedagogies or methodologies or workshops or cluster trainings. This is what for meant for, because uh, we are not giving at a student level any report. We are giving at a school level. Okay, with respect to the competencies. So
Ma'am, suppose that
we
at
know
least,
that okay, the teacher or that complete class.
ma'am,
Yes,
suppose that 4 and 5 student the level of that particular class,
your voice is cracking, Raksha. I'm not able
the,
to hear clearly.
that student.
Can you repeat it again? It's not clear.
If suppose that 4 to 5 student in one class not crack the exam, so what is the role of the teacher behind for that type of student?
You're saying for Safal, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So when it comes to Safal, that is what I'm telling. So here we need to identify the learning gaps. So when we know that, for example, there are students of around 60 students who have attempted this exam from that particular school, and these 60 students, they have a problem with particular competency, maybe competency 1, but they scored well in the competency 2, which means there is a problem with that competency. The teacher need to change the methodology of teaching. The pedagogy is what we call it as. So instead of using the routine, maybe lecture method, she need to do something like a demonstration in the classroom, or she need to make the student do their hands-on experience. This is what the pedagogists need to change as per the whatever result that is coming. And here what happens, Safal, it gives at a broader picture with respect to the school, the district, the state, and the national level. What is that ranking? Where does that school ranks? It's not to public, but it's only for the school, for the Navodaya, and for the entire officials who are working, or functionaries, or what we call them as the coordinators who are working upon that to get a clear picture of what they need to work upon. Based on that, the teachers will be collated and they will be given the like cluster trainings or the workshops or the webinars. So that is meant for the SAFL to refine the education system and see that where the learning gaps are there, mainly to identify the learning gaps. And one more thing is that is an annual exam. But when it comes to PARAKH, this is a periodic exam, which means at any point of time, the student can log in into the portal, he can attempt the exam. From it can be right now what you are doing is a pilot project where they are taking some set of students, but actually this PARAKH for the higher grades, when you take it, it is something like where any student can log in, can write the exam, can get the score, and tomorrow he can rewrite the exam and again the score will be updated. That is how it is there. And again, across the grades also there are items, like as I said, right now third grade, then again sixth grade and ninth grade, we have the items is nothing but the question types. Like we have all MCQs only, we have 45 questions, then we have 60 questions, and then we have some around 70 questions. That is how it has been given very specific across the different grades.
And
Yes,
on
ma'am.
the basis of that, we will get the rank school wise.
Yes, school will be given the rank. Like for example, how does it happen is like in the last SAFL I have discussed, maybe you can go through the video because we already have posted that video in the YouTube. You can go through that to understand like what is that. And the ranking is also given from 100 to 500. So if the ranking is coming to less than 200, which means the students are below the competency level. If it is coming where we call it as a like what you call beginner, and then there is something called advanced and proficient. The three levels is what is it given. So that if the student is falling below 250, which is very clear that he is not to that standard, he is below that standard, which means, for example, we are right now attempting after the third grade there is an exam, fifth grade there is an exam, and eighth grade there is an exam. For example, fifth grade student, after, like once the exam is done, then only we are asking to attempt this SAFL, which means he is attempting in the sixth grade in the month of July somewhere. So when he is attempting, then like he will be getting the score, right? So based on that, we can analyze where is he logging and lagging, I mean to say, and find out the learning gaps even. So just go through the SAFL video, which would have been already posted in the YouTube. Then you'll get a clear picture of where, like I mean to say, with respect to the, it will not give you a particular school, particular school plus district plus zonal plus state level plus national level. This way you can find out which state is ahead. Like for example, when you take the PARAKH report, Punjab is standing first with respect to the competencies, with respect to the what we call it as, I'll be showing some of the slides here. Then low competencies and high competencies, this some differentiation is there. So that way we can compare which state is standing first, which is lagging behind, and what all the demographic features is being added with respect to maybe infrastructure, resources, or the trainings, etc. All that also will be an I mean to say interlinked.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So here, PARAKH is an autonomous institution set up by the NCERT under the NEP 2020 policy, and it serves as the NAC, that is the National Assessment Center of India. So it gives all the guidelines, the philosophies, etc., and even the research also does. So everyone knows about the difference between CBSE and NCERT. I hope it, right? CBSE is nothing but an administrative block which takes care of the complete schooling plus, I mean to say, the evaluation and I mean to say the certification, the gradation, etc. But when it comes to NCERT, is the one, a governing body, I can say an independent governing body, which takes care of the academics, research, and I mean to say any of this assessment sort and everything is taken care by the NCERT. That is the reason PARAKH is coming as a part of this NCERT, right? And the main reason here it is we need to standardize. As I said here, there are different boards across India where we have 60 state boards, and I mean to say including state boards and different other like ICSE and these all. There is a need for standardizing these assessment practices because there are too much of diversification and too much of diversities, discrepancies, and even disparities. So that is where the need for bringing out an equivalence across the boards and states with respect to the assessment pattern and assessment style so that these competencies are being aligned to it, so that when any student is coming out of a state board or CBSE, the ranking would be the same, the percentage would be the same. So we can analyze. Right now it's not that way. One is more of descriptive questions, the other board is falling more of application oriented, so that the, I mean to say, the scholarship or the jobs oriented, everything tomorrow, we cannot make a generalized standardization with respect to saying that 85% means this. No. So that is the reason this is working. This autonomous institution is working upon the different assessment practices in standardizing across all the boards and states. Now it works towards shifting the assessment from rote memorization to competency-based learning, in aligning with the global best practices. Now, what is the need for PARAKH here? So as I said here, variation across the boards. We have around 60 school boards, each with different assessment pattern, making it hard to maintain the uniform standards. Then the second one is focus on rote learning, because traditional exams often test the memory rather than understanding, because we are giving more of long answer questions, more of descriptive questions like short answer, but emphasis upon the value based or experimental based or competency based questions is less. That is the reason there is a switch in the board exams, where we are seeing 50-50, and it might go to tomorrow 60-40 even. So that it's not like you are making the students ready only in 9th and 10th grade. It should start at a lower grade from grade 3 onwards. That is the reason in most of the books we have given this sort of competency based questions, picture talks, art integrated questions, etc. in the third grade itself. Like if you see the Spark series, if you see the Prime series, if you see the Quest series, which is going to come this year, you would be able to see all such sort of questionnaire. Now, the next one is global benchmarking. To align the Indian education with the international assessment systems like the PISA and TIMSS, as I said last time also, the sample questions which I have shown you is very much, if you have seen any of these international assessment papers, like Program for International Student Assessment and Trends in International Math Scientific Study, so you would be able to see the same set of questions that is where being inculcated or incorporated into our present assessments. And holistic education is where emphasizing critical thinking, creativity, application rather than. So holistic, which means a complete 360 education would be inculcated into the student, provided we not only give that knowledge and understanding, that is the cognitive domain, we also need to give effective, that is where that skills, the values and attitudes. And the next one is the psychomotor, which is where the mastering the skills. I'll just give one example to make you understand this, which I already have given in the prior session even on this Bloom's taxonomy. I'll just take an example of a doctor, right? A doctor, when he's pursuing his 4 years of MBBS degree, that is where we can say he's into a cognitive domain level, where he's just acquainting the information, reading through the textbook, reading through the Gray's anatomy textbooks, or from the library or from the teachers. So this is what we call as a cognitive domain. The student, when he is learning in the 4 years of MBBS plus MS, is where we can say he is in the cognitive domain level. The second one, when he start his own clinic or working in any of the hospitals, is where he performing his surgery, is where whatever he has learned in the textbook is what he is implementing them. So he is mastering his skills. That is where we call it as the psychomotor domain. The third one is whatever skills he has learned, whatever subject he has learned, then he is trying to deal with the patients with empathy, with humanity, with responsibility, with compassion. That is where your effective domain, that is your attitudes and your values, will come into picture. When these three are integrated, then only we can say a student is holistic, has gone through this holistic education, or he has focused upon the holistic development, or we have focused him with the holistic development. And one more similar example, take a teacher. You're all teachers and educators, right? So when a teacher is doing her graduation or post-graduation and B.Ed, obviously we can say we are in the cognitive domain level, because we are getting acquainting with the knowledge. The second thing is where when she started teaching them, okay, teaching in the class, that is where you are saying psychomotor domain. That is where your whatever mastered you have done, your subject, your skills is what you are explaining that. The third one is where your effective domain is where you are treating the students with compassion. You are giving that, you are taking that responsibility and ownership and accountability when you are teaching them. That is where your the last level, that is your effective domain, that is values and attitudes, comes into picture. I hope it is very clear with respect to holistic development, because every time everything is running around 360, that is the holistic progress card or holistic education. The need for this is this: all the three domains of next education, sorry, of Bloom's taxonomy are related. The first one is about, as I said, cognitive domain, that is where the subject we are teaching. The second comes with your a psychomotor, that is where mastering your skills, what he has learned from here to here. The third one is about the affective domain, that is where your moral science, your values, your life skills will come into picture. All three are should be integrated to make a holistic personality. Now moving on to the next one, what is the importance of PARAKH? So here it brings the uniformity across the boards. As I said here, all the state board, ICSE, CBSE, etc. And focus on competency and application instead of rote learning, because here right now student will not even by heart or mug up the concept. Instead he will think, like, because when we ask such type of questions, now builds the teacher capacity in modern assessment, where project Vidyasagar is aligned with this. So here in PARAKH there is a project called Project Vidyasagar, which is very much aligned with this NCF 2023, and where here cluster trainings, that is where we call it as teacher capacity building in the modern assessment. So the training is also being aligned through different levels of coordinators, where you have PARAKH coordinators, and you have CBSE coordinators, and you have at a national level, you have at a state level, you have at a district level, and here even at the end you have something called field investigators, where they will be involved in terms of taking the booklets and giving the test, like whatever I'll show you in the upcoming slides, the test one, because 3 to 5 tests are given. It's not one test. The reason is to avoid the malpractices and the paper leakages, so that so then you can ask, like, okay, there might be a variation. No, because the concept is one and the same, the competencies are one and the same, the learning outcomes are one and the same, only the questions would be different. Okay, so here you can see the first thing is regarding the whatever competencies we are giving, the learning outcomes we are giving, the concepts we are giving, all these three are the same, but only thing is the questions are changing from set 1 to set 2 to set 3 to set 4. Okay, so the reason behind doing it is to avoid the paper leakage or this thing, because it's going through different I mean to say coordinators or delegates. And now coming to the next one is encouraging the formative, summative, peer and self-assessment. So here it is encouraging all this, and mostly when it comes to PARAKH right now, it is something an MCQ based questions, where you have 45 questions in grade after grade 3, and then you have somewhere around 60 items, etc. Enhances the India's global education program. So here it is mainly we want to like when the students are going out of our country to someone else foreign country, so obviously the recognition would happen, provided we have all this being inculcated into our curriculum, into our assessments. Now coming to the curricular areas to be assessed in achievement tests. So here, as I said here, there are different coordinators at a regional level. Regional level coordinators you have, then you have state level coordinators, you have I mean to say district level coordinators, then you have observers, nothing but the principals of that respective schools, and then you have field investigators, who are the volunteers being taken from the maybe ex-employees, or they can be retired teachers, or they can be the students of 12th grade even, or graduation. They also can be joining as an field investigators. So all with the help of all of these people is where from 2022 onwards this PARAKH has been doing the pivot projects, I mean to pilot projects with respect to different students taking from the different cities. Now if you see here, this is how it has been conducting the test: grade 3, grade 6 and grade 9. As I said here, the different, it's not like one paper is given, you have around 6 items, I mean to say 6 question papers or booklets have been given, and here also you can see, just to avoid the malpractice as well as the leakage of the paper. So here it is at the end of the foundational stage, because 5 is this one, 5 plus 3 plus 3. So here at the end of the preparatory stage, which is after the grade 5, and this is the end of the middle stage, which is 6th, 7th and 8th. So after the grade 8th is where the test has been conducted. So it's mainly assessing the competencies at the end of the foundational stage. So here mainly we are testing only on math and language. Here we are testing on math, language, plus that is English, plus we are testing upon environmental science. Right now we are calling them as TWAU, that is the world around us. but not like environmental science. And here you can see even social has been included along with science plus math plus social plus English. So, but they can consider any three subjects, they can consider. And these are the question items that you can see: 45 questions given, 51 questions given here, 60 questions here, and the minutes also been given. And this is where we call it as a people questionnaire, teacher questionnaire, and a school questionnaire is also given, which I'll be going to discuss in the next slide. I hope this is clear. This is how the PARAKH is been conducting the test to just refine. So based upon this, then it is identifying where the teacher trainings or workshops should be conducted, as we said, capacity building. Now coming to the next slide, as I said, here there is an achievement test mainly to check the knowledge of the student, people questionnaire to find out like maybe it can be the school background, or can identify like whether the student has their gadgets like a laptop or an mobile, or like all that infrastructure, what the student should be having, or the learning environment or the learning resources is what is being captured here under the people questionnaire. Teacher questionnaire is with respect to the classroom infrastructure, resources, and methodologies, what the teacher is implementing. These all comes under this, been captured here through this questionnaire, where you have like how many teachers are we taking? 3 teachers each for grade 3 and 6. And now coming to the school questionnaire is where given to the principal to find out that what all the different infrastructure or resource learning information being captured. Now when you see here 30 students for each grade has been taken, and here also 30 for each grade is been taken. Okay, but again you might be having 70 students or 80 students, but again to this they're from that particular grade for particular school they were taking only these. And now coming to the teacher questionnaire, only 3 for each grade from 3 and 6, and 4 for grade 9. And then school questionnaire is the principal who has been considered here. So I hope it is clear.
Ma'am, they're not able to listen.
Yes, ma'am.
We're not able to see, nor are we able to listen.
Dear educator, there is some technical issues. Just to give me a minute.
Hello, can you please share the feedback link?
Just wait. The meeting didn't completed yet, so please wait.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry team, there was some disconnect here, the internet concern, so we have come back. Okay, so Yeah. So I want to show some of the sample questions which has been given in the PARAKH to make you understand what pattern of questions. Sushmita, can you keep on mute? Right. So here, these are the sample questions which you can see here. So here, assessment framework, operational guidance, and these are the sample questions which are given here. I'm just opening one document. So this is on the language English, where you can see some comprehension-based questions where
Are you sharing the screen, ma'am?
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Yes. Let me show you again. Right. So I hope my screen is visible, right? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Right.
Yes,
So,
it is.
yeah. So this is a site parakh.ncrt.government.in where you have this assessment framework. You can check it, operational guidelines, sample questions of 3, 6, and 9. Just click on this. So you'll be getting. So if you want, you can click on the 6th grade even this way. So 3rd grade when I open, so you have sample questions given on English, on math, and even on EVS. This is a 3rd grade. So here you can see there is a comprehension based paragraph, and based on that you have some 5 questions being asked. This is one more, and right now the mathematics is started. So what is the correct number to fill in the blank here? So this is something like logical reasoning questions according to the map. Where is Hina's this thing to find out the directions? And then the vendor has the following coins. What is the total amount he has? So we are not getting just the questions like 10 plus 2 is equal to what. Instead, we are putting it in the form of a scenario, real life context. So what is the length of the pencil? And this is also one more logical reasoning to identify the pattern here, because triangle followed by rectangle followed by this thing. Then obviously here it will be a rectangle and then triangle. Now coming to the next one is finding out the ascending order from largest to smallest. Okay, so that will become descending order. Okay, and then there are 32 balls in a room. So here also is one more, and here you can see the EVS questions. Look at the picture, which table is the heaviest, which clock show the this thing, and then you have this odd one out, and there is a scenario here questions. So these are the different pattern of questions. Which of the given object does not have any corners? So here all this has the corner, this doesn't, and here this is shape we are identifying. What is the shape of this shell? That is oval. So this way you have some sort of questions being asked, right? So this is again for grade 6 also there is something. So please refer this website where you have given parakh.ncrt.government, and here are the different questions that has been given as a sample. So this you need to start incorporating into the assessment. It's just not for the sake of knowledge sharing I'm giving it, because this will be until unless we implement this into our curriculum, we cannot expect that competencies are met. We cannot expect that student is having a holistic development. Okay, so this is about. Now coming to the next one is about the survey report. This is more important. So when it comes to the survey reports, here you can see all the states here. For example, if I go with the Telangana, right now I'm in Hyderabad, so let me do this. So you can see the number of schools who have participated in the pilot project, and the level grades. I mean to say grade 3, how many students, grade 6 and grade 9, total this many schools, and the teachers who have participated in that, and the students have participated by gender, by location, by management, by social group. This entire information is what you can see. Any state you can just select one click this way, you will be getting that information. So let me go back. So I'm just giving on one state. So let me go back. So I selected this. Yes.
I have 2 questions to ask.
Yeah.
So you were thinking about the competency-based questions, whether it is in SAFL or PARAKH, that is fine. But
Yeah.
should we implement the same questions in the test 1? 2, if not, how can we develop these competency-based questions as an art? I mean, the art of preparing these competency-based questions for a teacher. Because I think the present generation who are teachers now, we haven't upgraded to that level. So given this problem, how should we overcome that?
Right. So that is where PARAKH is doing it right now. Earlier, SAFL is only to find out the learning gaps. Accordingly, they will be giving the trainings to the teachers to find out that these are the gaps and where they should be trained upon. So that the cluster trainings or what we call capacity building trainings are happening. With the respect to the PARAKH is where it is having some coordinators. As I said here, some dignitaries have been appointed across the boards, across the states, so that one pool will be educating the other pool will be educating. So this way is a chain reaction where I can say the entire education system can be reformed in a year or two. It cannot happen on a day one, because if you see in our science books, next science books or the Spark science books, you can see that these questions have been added. But again, some of the schools are not in favor because still they are with the traditional or the conventional method of assessments. So still they're going with it, but slowly it will take some time. The transition is phase is what is happening right now. PARAKH is working upon it to identify that teachers where they have a problem with respect to whatever data that I'm going to show you. Based on that, the trainings would happen. The capacity building trainings for the teachers would happen with respect to methodologies, with respect to what pattern of assessment, so that, as I said here, the discrepancies across the 60 state boards would be the 60 boards would be the same. There would not be any difference with respect to opinion or competencies or the type of assessment pattern that is happening. 85%, if I say from a CBSE, from a state board, from an ICSE, it should be the same equivalent. Right now, that standardization is what is lagging here. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am. But my only concern was, as a teacher, it would be great if next would conduct one session on that, how to create competency-based questions.
Actually, I have these competency-based questions in the next upcoming slides, but I don't think in this session we can complete all of them. So here we have all the different pattern of questions here. Yeah, these are the different pattern of competency based questions which are given here: case study questions and textual narrative, database, then image, problem solving, comparative, this thing, experimental investigation, situational, cross disciplinary, project, historical, role play, simulation based questions, debate or multiple viewpoint, local context, everything is there. Just we want to educate you with respect to all the pattern of questions that you can give it in your assignments or your assessments. Okay, but that is way far. Maybe in the next session I'll be able to cover because of short of time. So at least let me complete this PARAKH part, because that is where actually both SAFL and PARAKH are working. So you need to even understand the difference between that, then make sense in terms of teaching you some of the competency based questions, how to create them.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. Teachers, apologies, it might be taking maybe a few more minutes, but please bear with me. Okay, certificate will be obviously given. Don't even bother about it. Don't even worry about it, because here you are consuming the knowledge and as a knowledge pill. So take this information and again, you want this thought of giving this assessment as one of the webinar has been arose from one of the teacher or educator asked regarding, ma'am, can you give some of the case study questions? So that is where the need for assessment, the need for PARAKH, the need for SAFL, and how these two organizations are I mean to say, working upon making our assessment system a better version of rather than a traditional or our rote memorization methods. Okay, so just please bear with me. And if you have any such like, I mean to say, queries or something else that you want to take it as a webinar topic, I always welcome you. You can put it in the chat box, or you can even discuss with me. That is what we are going to, because then the need from your end is more important for us rather than what we are giving as an topic. Okay, so here I have shown you this one. Now coming to this, so I selected Telangana here again. Yeah, there is an internet fluctuation here. Yeah,
no, it's okay.
It got disconnected, guys. Fine. Right. Okay, so this is where I'm going to show you again. So here we are. I'm just selecting the one state and again selecting this any of the districts. So Rangareddy district I have selected. You can see here the number of schools who have participated in that pilot project, teachers, students, by gender, what is the difference, and the location, urban and rural. The percentages are also given here. I hope you are able to see the screen. And then when you move on to this, you can see at a foundational, preparatory, middle stage, the different competencies. So these are most important. Last time also I've told you about the curricular goals and the competencies, which is more important. Here you can say there is only one 10.5 which has been addressed, not about the rest. Why? So here you need to select that different competencies, that is 10.7 or 10.3, that way. Then you will be seeing the same thing here. Okay, so here you are able to see 10.5, what is the percentage of the students who have achieved it, and then this is at a language level, this is at a mathematics level, and again, because this is a grade 3, you don't have the EVS or the science. So this is at a foundational stage, and for this information regarding with respect to the where the students stand with respect to India, Rangareddy, and with respect to the state, which means nation, that is at the country level, at a state level, at a district level, you can see the percentage distribution. And the same thing with the mathematics also. Here also you have different competencies, that is CG1s. These are all been updated in the HPC document in the CBSE academics.nic website. You can go through it, and you can see here where the students are standing. Accordingly, the what I said about the capacity building workshops would be conducted. Now let us go to the preparatory stage. So preparatory stage, here we have the language, and then the mathematics, and the world around us, that is environmental science. Here also you can select the different competencies being given, and then you can identify where the students are standing and where our district stands. Okay, so this way, even here also you can select these competencies. Right, now coming to the middle stage is where 6th, 7th, and 8th, and here also you can see the language, mathematics, science, and social also will be added, and here also you can select the different competencies, and these competencies are mandatory. I'll be showing you why these competencies are mandatory, because there is something called assessment objectives also be given by NCERT. Okay, so this is about. Now coming to the contextual variables. So here, as I said, here there is something called beside this achievement test. Achievement test is where only you are testing upon the knowledge or the understanding part of the content from the taking from the textbook. So apart from that, we have achievement test is what we have given for the student with respect to PARAKH. The second, we have people questionnaire, we have teacher questionnaire, we have school questionnaire. These three data, the last three data, that is the besides this whatever we call it as an people questionnaire, we have achievement test, we have people questionnaire, school questionnaire, and the other one teacher questionnaire. These three things have been connected, and from there this information has been captured. So based on that, we will be able to see where the low performing and the high performing schools have been standing across. This is what you can see with respect to only that. Yeah, so here you can check it, high performing, and where are they standing. So here this about the I mean to say the low performing and the high performing, and here are the policies or the guidelines that has been added in the different tests that has been given as part of a PARAKH. Apart from the achievement test which we have discussed here, I'm just telling about this achievement test here. Yes, this is what was only focused upon the knowledge and understanding, whereas from all this data is where we are capturing the information regarding the infrastructure, class infrastructure, resources, etc. available. That is where it is given this data. Based on that, we are seeing where the schools are standing with respect to the low performing and the high performing students. So there are some schools where you can see both of them are 100% aligned to this thing. For example, school management committee, or we can see something here with have student behavior discipline policy, or something here we have delegate the responsibility in the middle leadership team. So some places we can see they have achieved 100%, both the low and the high performing schools. Okay, so this is about. Now coming to the next one. Okay, so this I have discussed about the sample questions I have shown you. The survey reports also have shown you. You also can cross check with respect to your state and school. And how do PARAKH and SAFL differ in their purpose, process, and impact on education? Let me.
Video is not audible, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Give me a minute. Guys, you need to say me this. This has an audio. Yeah.
PARAKH versus SAFAL.
I hope now it is audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Right.
Form. PARAKH is performance
Yes, ma'am.
assessment, review, and analysis of
Yes.
knowledge for holistic development. SAFAL is structured assessment for analyzing learning. Conducted by PARAKH is conducted by NCERT under the Ministry of Education. SAFAL is conducted by CBSE in its affiliated schools. When conducted, PARAKH is conducted at the end of grades 3, 6, and 9, not in grades 10 or 12. SAFAL is conducted at the end of grades 3, 5, and 8, and from 2025-26, it is mandatory in grades 6 and 9 as SAFAL KSA. Purpose: PARAKH is used for system-level evaluation, setting benchmarks for all boards, and guiding policy and curriculum reforms. SAFAL is used as a classroom-level diagnostic tool, tracking competency development and reducing exam stress. Participants. PARAKH involves sample-based students, teachers, school/boards, and policymakers. SAFAL involves students in grades 3, 5, 8, teachers, parents, and school leaders. Users of data. PARAKH data is used by governments, boards, and researchers. SAFAL data is used by teachers, parents, schools, and CBSE. Nature of assessment. PARAKH is a large-scale, sample-based survey not linked to student promotion. SAFAL is a student-level diagnostic assessment with no pass-fail and not linked to student promotion. Alignment with NEP 2020. PARAKH is designed as the national standard-setting body for student assessment under NEP 2020. SAFAL is introduced as a pilot project of NEP 2020 to bring competency-based assessments into early grades. Frequency. PARAKH is conducted periodically at national state levels. SAFAL is conducted annually in CBSE schools. Scale. PARAKH is nationwide across all school boards, state boards, CBSE, ICSE, etc., with sample-based surveys. SAFAL is limited to CBSE schools with all students of grades 3, 5, and 8, and now 6 and 9 participating. Focus area. PARAKH focuses on the performance of the education system as a whole. SAFAL focuses on the learning progress of individual students. Output. PARAKH produces national and state reports, benchmarks, and policy recommendations. SAFAL produces student progress reports and classroom insights. Impact on students. PARAKH has no direct impact on students or promotion. SAFAL helps students and parents track learning without stress. Teachers' role. PARAKH requires teachers to facilitate surveys and assessments. SAFAL requires teachers to use feedback to improve teaching. Overall outcome. PARAKH monitor and reform education quality nationwide. SAFAL helps identify learning gaps early and build competency-based learning.
So I hope it is very clear with respect to the video, right? So I'm just giving the differences here in cut short, where it is conducted by the NCERT under the ministry MOE, and it is only conducted in the CBSE and affiliated schools. Okay, and when conducted at the end of the grades 3, 6, 9, not in 11th, 10th, or 12th, end of the grades 3, 5, 8, from 2025-26, that is this year, we are even conducting in grades 6 and 9, that is SAFAL KSA, that is key site assessment. Now, purpose is standardize the evaluation, set benchmarks, and equivalence. This is more important. Equivalence across the boards. There should not be any difference with respect to the ranking or the grade which is given across, provided the assessment pattern and the style and the type of questions is being similar across all the boards. And classroom diagnostic tool, track the competencies, reduce the exam stress, and identifying the learning gap. This is the main thing. So in both the cases, we are not using any of this PARAKH assessment or SAFL assessment for the promotion of the student from grade 1 to grade 2, but it's only for, as I said here, to give the equivalence or standardize the assessments which is used across the boards, and this is mainly to identify the learning gaps, so and to make the student competent enough to attempt to any of the international exams assessments like PISA or TIMSS. And here participants are sample student, teachers, schools and policymakers, and all the students of these grades, teachers and parents and school leaders, and users, governments, boards and researchers, because to analyze where the student stands, how to improvise our education system and reform it and make given quality education to the citizens. And here teachers, parents, schools and CBSE are involved, because this is completely only CBSE oriented. Just that is just thumb rule. This is CBSE oriented, whereas this is completely all the boards all over India. Nature of assessment, large scale, because it's a complete survey, sample based, and not all students, limited students are taken, and it is not linked to the promotion of the student from one grade to other. Here student level, all students, no pass or fail. It is also not linked to the promotion of the student from one grade to other. Frequency is periodic. It can be weekly, it can be monthly. It is all set. Whenever the student want to log in, he can do. This is something like an annual assessment, which is actually happening in the month of April to July. Scale is nationwide across all school boards. Here it is only limited to CBSE affiliated schools. Maybe tomorrow it can, align with the state boards even. For now, it is limited to CBSE schools. Focus area is performance of the education system and learning progress of the individual. So to find out these learning gaps and even enhance the learning journey of the student. So this is about. And how is assessment aligned with the competencies? I'll not take more than 4 minutes, because here we will end by, oh my god, blueprint is also there. So let guys, can I go ahead, or tell me the social media team, just let me know, because I have many slides to go. We are on 26, so it would take one more session. So do you want me to continue at least to complete it till here, or should we stop here? Because
how much
yes,
time it will take, ma'am?
because these all will take time, because you have
Better next time, ma'am. Whatever you have given, let us digest it. I'm
I
sorry
know.
to stop here,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, yeah. This is a new topic, guys. See, whatever we are giving you, it's not just the same old story that we are giving, because it should be a knowledge field to you as well as me to explore also. Together, we are enhancing and enriching our knowledge. That is more important for me. And so if you feel like, okay, this is enough to digest, so then next week we'll come up with whatever slides are there. We'll go
Yeah,
ahead with it.
that's better.
Okay. Because
Meanwhile, as an outsider, I have a question here. See, you are giving all these SAFL, PARAKH, all this for the schools. So, if the parents are interested, what is the role? How is there any possibility for the parents to take up these? Because not all schools will have equal interest. There's no time. They'll have various constraints. I don't want to get into that. But as a parent, what can a parent do for this? Is it possible for a parent to enroll for PARAKH or SAFL?
Yeah, as I said here, right, field investigators. So field
देखो अब
investigators,
इसको लेके आ रहा है पूरा दिन निकल गया कह रहा
Sangeeta,
है जी के लेके बैठो नहीं
Sangeeta,
जी नहीं सुनूंगी मैं अच्छा नहीं
Sangeeta Singh,
सुनूंगी
please be on mute.
जाओ पहले दी
Are Baba, yes. So Sridevi, you're like, are you a teacher or a parent? Hello?
I was a teacher, now I'm an academician. I'm almost
Okay.
on the verge of retirement. So when parents come and ask, what is the answer that we can give? I'm sorry.
Yeah. See, as a field investigator, as I said here, there is a scope, but again, how to go through and enroll it is what you need to go through the official website of PARAKH, which I've shown you. So as a field investigator is what you can be a part of it. And then maybe you can be a part of the panelist also, provided you have the knowledge with respect to the academics, with respect to the assessment. And again, as I said here, observer is again, should be a qualified person and a principal again. And then to the different panelists, or when we say about the regional level coordinators, district level coordinators, these all is taken from the schools only. But again, they should not be biased, and all this will be taken care by the PARAKH as well as CBSE when they're appointing their dignitaries.
Got
Okay.
it. Thank you.
So yeah, So this I have shown you, and coming to the next one is where, as I'm saying repeatedly on the competencies. So what are these competencies? So this is this which I have taken from the preparatory stage, that is grade 3 to 5. Okay, and this is what we call it as the curricular goals, and these are the different competencies and how are they aligned to the Bloom's taxonomy, and what are the different examples for each of the sort of this thing, so you can relate it very well, like how that whatever competencies they have given, it is moving across remembering to create and evaluate levels, evaluate and create levels. And one example of such sort of assessment question was also given here in the upcoming slide, so it will take time to make you understand, to go through each and every, at least one example of that. And then I want to discuss regarding the blueprints, define the weightage of the question types based on this thing. So for example, when you take a 10 science paper, remembering should be 30 to 40%, application should be 30 to 50%, analyzing hard should be this much. And the next comes with your the different assessment specifications. Just I'm giving you one glance before even starting in the next session. This is where given by the NCRT, and this is one such I'm just going to show you this one. Yeah, if you see here, this is how the CBSE has given with respect to the assessment objectives and the percentage of yeah, how these assessment objectives from AO1, AO2, AO3, AO4 is given. And if you see that this is moving across remembering, understanding, this is lots, this is application, this is analysis, and this is evaluate. This is how the Bloom's taxonomy levels is also increasing across, and this is about the competencies given and the percentage that need to be covered, and this is how the competencies has been given. This is one approach which actually been given here as well. What is the page number 145? Yes, so this is how it is been taken from this screenshot to make you understand, like these are the different assessment objectives. The AO is assessment objective, and this is where you can see this is about remembering and understanding information, this is about applying, this is about analyzing the information, this is about evaluate. And then what percentage should be given here? It's not I been emphasizing it, it's the CBSE who is emphasizing here the percentage that should be given for AO1, that is remembering and understanding 40%. The next application should be 40%, analyzing should be 10%, and this thing. When you see across the grades, right, you can see the percentage is been increasing. So 40, 40, 40, and 30, and 30. So that remembering level is decreasing when it comes to 9th and 10th. Remembering understanding level. And AO2 is where you can applying. It is also it's the same. Sorry. Yeah, it's also decreasing. And when it comes to the last two levels, that is analysis and evaluate, is increasing double. Okay, so this is also a part of this CBSE, which I have taken from the cbseacademics.nic.in. This is where the document is about, where the assessment objectives are being set here with respect to the hierarchy of this Bloom's taxonomy. And then across the grades, how is it increasing also, you can see. So 6th grade, it is 40, 40, 10, and 10. When it comes to 7th grade, also same. 8th grade, also same. But again, 9th and 10th, you can see that there is a reduction in the percentage of remembering and understanding, increase in the, reduction in the application level, and increase in the analysis and the evaluate. Okay, so this is about the design that I want to emphasize here, and these are some of the sample questions being taken. And again, this is what Kendriya Vidyalaya gives with respect to the blueprint, how to create it. But now here we are emphasizing with respect to the learning objectives, with respect to the Bloom's taxonomy. Here we are emphasizing with respect to the chapters and the section. But we want something where everything is integrated, something like this. Can you see my screen? I think no. Guys, you need to
No,
tell
ma'am.
me.
No.
Yeah, because I'm just switching across the slides. That has been missed actually. This is what I told you. This is the website which I opened and I showed you. This is one more website where I've shown this also. Okay, so just clicking on these items, actually this one, I just clicked on this, then I have opened this one to just show you. This is taken from the CBSE with respect to the assessments and the percentages. And the other
Share the
one,
link, ma'am.
Yes, it is same. It's the same. This thing, cbseacademics.in. Go to CBSE documents. In that, just go to that assessment. You can see this. Okay, and the other one is this, where you can just go to the same CBSE documents. I showed you last time also. Wait, I'll open again. cbseacademics.nic.in. Just go here. There is something called competency-based resources. Just go down. You have assessment. Here you have curriculum-based competency-based items. Grade-wise, you can select like this. For example, this one, all the sample questions would be there here. And the other one is you want to go with the question bank. Just click here. Then you can see the different pattern of questions of different subjects, which I have taken the screenshots from here. Okay, so I'll give you in the next session even, so that you would not be overloaded. And this is Kendriya Vidyalaya. This is the blueprint which they have created, where they are given the chapters, they are given the marking. But for me, learning objectives are also important, because here you can see that the learning objectives, assessment objectives are given. This is remembering and understanding. This is applying, this is analysis, and this is evaluate, where you can see the percentage is increasing across the, decreasing for knowledge and understanding and applying, increasing across the analysis and evaluate. Now when I show you the final document what we have created as a blueprint, this is what is about, where you can see section level, you can see Bloom's taxonomy level, and you can see the type of questions even and the chapters. This is where it is required to create a blueprint, so that you don't feel like one percentage, because here the percentages are more important. Now remembering and understanding, if I calculate what is the percentage given, 51%. Can you see it here? And when I consider the application and analysis, here we have given. You might ask, the next question is like, why evaluate has not been included? Right now, you know, we are all in a transition phase where the teachers are not still getting acquainted. It takes some time for them to get adapted and being flexible. That is the reason for now we haven't included this evaluate, like justify, such pattern of questions, though it is given at a very minute level. I can say less than 10%. So it is included already here. That is the reason what we have done is this remembering and understanding, we made 51%, and this one application analysis, we made 48%. So together it is going to 100%. And this all is where we have given in the form of formulas, which I'm going to tell you in the next session even. And even this also. So you can see here, 2 chapters are there. We have given equal weightage by taking 20 marks from both the chapters. It's not like we have given too much of weightage to one chapter and leaving out. Until unless you create a blueprint, you will not even know that the weightage that you are giving for a chapter, because this will give a clear picture to everyone, to maybe a known illiterate or a literate also. You can educate them saying that every chapter, the section levels, as well as the MCQ and assessment and reasoning, because this is a grade 6 paper, so you should have the assessment and reasoning questions. And in this, how many remembering, how many understanding, how many applying. If analysis is not there, keep it 0. And this is CBQ, that is competency based questions, because assessment and reasoning comes under competency based. The next one is where 2 marks section B, very short answer questions are given, where you will have practical based or value based questions, where we have given this way. And the next comes your short answer, which is descriptive. So that also we have something like reasoning questions. That is the reason it's coming under application and analysis. Then 5 marks, mostly it will be under remembering or applying. Then case study question is where competency based questions, so we have given one question under each. So this way what happens is you will be getting the complete total number of questions here. 10 questions from chapter 1, this is the chapter 1, and 13 questions from the chapter 2. Together 20 marks, 40 marks. So how do you give this one? Because it's a formula being applied, that is very easy. Just you need to give the question, to say into plus whatever the marking, the weightage is given here, you will be getting it. This will make your life easy in terms of creating a blueprint. This is what we have even given here in this, and then case study questions will follow. Okay,
so this is designed by you, or the board has given, or the Kendriya Vidyalaya has done this one?
Kendriya Vidyalaya has given only this much of information, ma'am. Wait, I'll give you. Yeah, this is the information. Now, but is this information enough for me to create a blueprint? No. That is the reason we have created, using that, implementing the CBSE assessment objectives, competencies, plus sections, plus chapters, plus the this section, Bloom's taxonomy. Because I cannot have 3-4 sheets, one for Bloom's taxonomy, one for assessment, one for chapters, one for section weightage. So instead, I need to collate everything. That is where we have done a research in terms of implementing, and this is how it has been made and designed.
Ma'am, one more minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
It says very clearly, competency-based questions are not there in 3 marks and 5 marks. Is it okay?
It
Because
is up
5
to you.
marks
You
of
can add it. No, no, you can add it because see, we have set it because we are not creating for an. I mean to say the whatever questions that assessment that we are creating for our schools, like some of our 360 schools and APP schools. This is the criteria that we have kept it in mind. Saying that because they doesn't want too much stuff because they'll say, ma'am, these questions are out of the syllabus. Because when it comes to value based or experimental based question, we give something real life context so that we are not keeping it like too heavy, too high. So 50% is what I can say the I mean to say the technicality or the toughness of the question paper that we are releasing. So that I have given emphasis only on these three things, though that my percentage of this I have got it. How did I
Okay,
get this percentage? Because these are all calculations. It is considering only the application analysis of application analysis and application analysis, and obviously this information. So if you see here, this information is coming from here, all the remembering, all the understanding, all like this. So that data will be captured here, and that data will be captured here.
ma'am, you are not audible.
You're not audible, you're not visible both.
Here and that data. Yeah, yeah. Can you see my screen? Sorry, there is some internet issue, guys. So on and off.
You are visible and
Yeah, right.
Sometimes
So
audio is getting interrupted, ma'am. That's all.
disconnected.
yeah, yeah. Now it is. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
right, fine. So you can see my screen, right? You can see my screen. So what I'm saying is here the advantage is you can see all the chapters at one go. You can see all the sections at one go, section A, B, C, D, and E, which I'm doing. And then you can see the marking also and the competency based where you want to emphasize. If you want to change, you can change it. It's not, I'm not restricting it you, because based upon the schools that we are catering to, we'll create one set, and set A and set B. Set A is where I can say like more of tricky questions would be there. Set B is where we are giving medium and easy level questions. Okay, so this way we are just giving. Here you can see the remembering, understanding, application analysis is there in each and every section. That is where the data will be captured, and you will be getting this complete I mean to say summing up of all the marks here. And from here also you can see that this has been captured, and then this percentage is coming from there. Okay, so this whatever Kendriya Vidyalaya is, I'm just showing you different samples to say that nothing is complete. So we want to create a complete paper and to help you guys also in terms of creating a blueprint, and then go ahead with creating the question paper. So that will make your life easy. Clear? This I'll be teaching in the next session. Don't even worry. I'm just giving you a glimpse of it. The next session will be scheduled by the media team, marketing team. So that time we would catch up on this again. So till Shuffle is what PARAKH and Shuffle is what we have completed in the first part of our session. The next upcoming session, which they might align it very, I mean to say maybe next or next week. Accordingly, we will share the next part of it with respect to blueprint creation, with respect to, you already seen that different competencies that also I'll be telling you, and the different like this. I'm just have collated some of the assessment, like as I said here, this is where the instructions given by NCERT with respect to the learn assessment objectives are given, where this is going from Bloom's taxonomy, the percentage is given, and in the whatever Kendriya Vidyalaya they have given the chapters. But actually when we are creating the question paper, obviously we will give this chapter. For example, if it is generic chapter like our environment, I'll give less focus. If it is something a technical chapter like asset based sensors, I'll give more focus. This way is what I know people have started crying. So let me end up this session. If you have any queries, let me know.
Can you share that video, ma'am, of comparison of PARAKH with Shuffle, if you don't mind? I'm sorry, I shouldn't ask, but still I'm asking.
Yeah, my team, because they are the owners for it. I'm not the owner, so you can coordinate with them.
It
You
was
can
too
put it
good.
yeah, yeah. You can yeah, you can just put it on the Hangout in the chat box. So it is up to them because I'm not supposed to.
Yes, and we need that. We need these
I'm
apps.
telling, see guys, this video is already available in the YouTube. At any point of time, you can go back, you can refresh, and you can gain the knowledge. Because I'm might be going fast, I know, but I have received some concerns saying that, ma'am, you're going fast. But in a limited time, I want to give the best information to you. Okay, so that is where I know that I'm going fast, but again, we are all educators, we are not students. So you can, because when you follow the previous session, obviously this session becomes easy. But if you are not following the previous session, obviously this session, what I'm teaching will be something like an, I mean to say, a challenge for you. Okay, so don't worry guys, we'll repeat from here. That is once this, after this, from here onwards, 11th slide is what we are going to repeat in the next session, because I have shown many things with respect to the PARAKH assessment, that whatever foundational stages, the policies, the guidelines, and that whatever the interpretation has been captured, those information. So that is where it has consumed the time. But again, if we are going to continue the next session from here onwards, don't worry. All right. Still, if you have any concerns, please let me know. I'm here to support you. Yes. Hello. Yes, if you don't have any queries, team, please, I think feedback form will not be shared now because we have yet to complete the session. So if you are done, thanks once again for joining this session, and have a great evening.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah, Sridevi.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
somebody's
Ankur.
talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Let them talk. I'll speak later.
Right. Ankur, can you?
No, yeah, Sridevi, ma'am. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, yeah, Sridevi, tell me.
Ma'am, you were telling about questions. See, it is easy. I don't know, because I come from a science and math background. It is easy for me to prepare the questions for application analysis, reasoning, and all that stuff. But as a teacher, I maybe it's a little difficult for English. I feel so. Social studies somehow we can manage with great difficulty, but for English, I think it's really
So
bottleneck.
here,
I don't know. My perspective is this.
yeah. See, here when I covered the question, mostly I tried to cover from all the subjects rather than very confining it to the science or math. So here you can see a math question being asked, here social
Math and
studies
science
being.
is not a problem. Social is also okay. But when it comes to
Uh-huh.
English, English is really a bottleneck. So
Okay.
how do you overcome that?
Okay. See, mostly, see, when you say this is more of, right. So when I say something historical or timeline based case study questions here, it is more of reading comprehension, more of understanding. Comprehending this is nothing but the English. So this already we have been doing from ages. When I studied my 10th also, I have seen such pattern of questions being asked, but I didn't see such pattern of questions being asked in science or math or social. This is where the change has been happening. You would have seen such comprehension based questions or letter writing, all these things are there already existing in English. Okay, and even role play, simulation, these are all where your English comprehension is being evaluated. Then this is also a role play or simulation based questions. Then debate or multiple viewpoint case study questions. Then local context or community based case study question. This is also where, rather than the subject, English is also come, until unless they understand the comprehension of the para of whatever we have given the context, they will not be able to answer this. So English is coming into the first thing. Any assessment, even without the support of English, no, we cannot, I mean to say, that will not be justified by the student. We cannot even validate it.
So does it mean that under social and English is an integration, math English is integration, science English is
Yes,
integration?
yes, obviously. If you
Because
see
even
here,
the questions that you're showing now, I feel it to be either more of science, math, or social science, or even
agreed,
TWAU for instance. But
agreed, but
when I say per se English alone,
hmm,
I'm not doing subject integration here. But for English particularly, particularly for the lower grades, maybe 3 to 5, that bracket. What
right.
type of questions to be created is one bottleneck that I've been seeing. I've been observing this.
I think the English team would have taken that. But when I say here, mostly whatever pattern of questions here we are looking at, these questions were already asked in the English subject, not from now. I mean to say from 90s. I could see such pattern of questions being asked. We have something called paragraph based questions. We have something called comprehension based questions. Those
Unseen
questions were
passages.
already existing, but now we are seeing only in the subjects. Because until unless they have the strong foundation of English, the other subjects cannot be accomplished. They will obviously not master that. So English is the mandatory subject. So here also, when if the student is even able to see only the numbers here, but to understand that numbers and the complete comprehension of that
Context.
context, obviously he need to know the basic English. The vocabulary should be strong, his listening skill should be strong, his reading skills should be strong. Then comes your writing. right? So English is integrated into each and every subject. It's not like I mean to say separate, but when it comes to the English subject, because those people are also taking some of the sessions, maybe they will be explaining in detail with respect to the different types of case study questions, which we have discussed it here, like role play, simulations, debate, then local context, community-based case study questions, interdisciplinary big problem case study questions, multimedia or digital case study questions, where pet simulations are given. Based on that also we can ask. Even accession and reasoning also have included. These are all the different competency-based questions, and again, these should be aligned to the learning outcomes and competencies. Then only we can say that this is fruitful. I mean to say we have achieved the holistic development.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so
it would be
suppose,
really helpful if you help us to create, how should a teacher create competency-based questions? I think
yeah,
that we need to focus
yeah,
more on as a practical person.
right.
We
So
need
these are all
to,
taken. For example, this is what we call
yeah.
source-based question. In social, what we take is straight away from the textbook. We'll take up that paragraph, and from there we'll ask in the questions like which word in the preamble ensures that India is free from outside control. So this is what we call sovereign, which is where we call controlled by us. No other foreign country can dictate or rule us. So this is where from this paragraph is where until unless they know that this context is learned from the textbook, but these questions cannot be answered until unless they are strong with the vocabulary skills and interpretation skills. Okay, so this way we can see.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is the different patterns of questions that you can see: multiple correct open-ended questions, value-based questions with respect to something like maybe value or skills or compassion or empathy. This pattern of questions are also having a weightage actually from 2020. So that questions also have added. So these all we'll be discussing in the next session. Right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Right. So educators, if you have any queries, let me know. If not, we can wrap up this session. Yes. Yes, I hope there are no queries. So we'll be meeting in the next session. Bye-bye for now. Have a great evening ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks. It was very informative. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rina. Thank you,
Excuse
Ankur.
ma'am, actually, there's not in. Hello.
Yes,
Excuse
you're
me,
on.
ma'am. Actually, there's not an excuse from my side. It's a request from my side that for the next sessions which you all are planning, I would like to say that if it's possible. So, first of all, I would like to thanks to the Ministry of Education. They are providing such an informative sessions for us, and even you, listeners, you are giving your precious time and delivering the proper knowledge to us. But ma'am, actually, as you all are now giving a proper time that yeah, session is going to start at 5:30 p.m. But we are not having an exact what is the duration of one session. So if
Actually, it
it's
is 1 hour.
tough for us to adjust the timing now,
Yeah.
and
It's
even some
actually,
of the people who are, yeah, but ma'am, mostly the session is going on beyond 1.5 hours. No? So
yeah.
and even
I,
most of the times we are traveling and we don't have the proper connectivity.
so
So it's
no
really
worries,
challenge for
Ankur.
us to
See,
attend the session.
yes, see, because see, there is something. It's not like one man show. It's not like I'm delivering and you're. It's not like a lecture or a discussion method. It's something like interacting. That is where it will consume the time. So in that case is where I expect that it might go beyond it, but we are trying to plan it that it should be completed in one, because the main thing is here and there we have some
No, it's,
disconnect with
ma'am,
respect
you
to
can take
internet.
your time because I don't want.
No, if you are missing also, we
No,
have
you can take
something
your time. Means I
YouTube
don't want that
version is
it.
there. Please, you can switch on to that, or if, for
Yeah.
example,
No,
you are
it's,
not
I don't want
available.
that you may compress the sessions. Means
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but I'm
I'm not
telling,
saying
see,
that you may compress
actually,
the
I
session. You
thought,
can take your whole time. But if we have an, yeah,
yeah, I got your
yeah, sure, ma'am,
point.
you can say.
Actually, we want to complete in 1 hour, but that 1 hour is when people are asking and communicating, and this is because where I want it to be more interactive rather than just a lecture or a discussion method. So it cannot be like, because the more and more you ask me the queries, then the more and more everyone will explore. Otherwise, what happens, it will be like one man show, like just one way of presenting the information. No, we don't want that. We want you guys to interact with us. That is where the information will be more exploratory.
Ma'am,
But
Yeah,
again, if you are
yeah,
missing the session, do agree, please switch on to the YouTube. That is already been there. It is already been added there, so you can move on to that. But
Ma'am,
we
one
try
more
to
query, ma'am.
confine it.
thank you.
Yes, Madhu.
Yes, ma'am. If when you are planning for the next session for giving us the examples how to frame the competency-based questions, is that the priority will be given to the people or the members, those who have attended the session today?
That no, it is like first come first serve, Madhu.
Okay,
So
ma'am. I do understand. Thank you.
that will be yeah, because it's not under our control, right? So it's like once the limit is reached, but again you have a YouTube account also being channelized parallelly so that people can join there. But only thing is you will not be straight away asking any queries to me. That is the only backlog. If not,
Okay.
everything works the same.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. I got it. Thank you.
Right.
Is there any feedback form link for this session?
Uh, no, Shreya, because we haven't completed the session. We are midway. So in the next session, it will be done. So maybe in the next session, we'll be having the feedback. Mostly, I try to wind up in the next session. I'll not be taking up the third session.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, teachers and educators. Yes, you can leave the call if you are done with your queries. Yes, Simnath, thank you. Ex Raksha Tripathi, thank you. Yes, Shiv. Shweta, Antima, thank you very much. Saranya, what happened? Madhu, Reena, thank you. Nandini, thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Aishwarya.
Yes, ma'am. How do we come to know about your next session?
The marketing team will be posting it on LinkedIn, on the Facebook, so you can go through that. How did you
Okay.
get this information, Aishwarya?
From through mail, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Then it will be coming through the same mail.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Bye. Yes, teachers. Bye bye, and have a happy evening.